In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you the Tunisian Knit Stitch. This is a Tunisian crochet stitch that looks like stockinette knitting on the front, and on the back it looks very, very bumpy. This stitch is suitable for beginners, so let's jump in. Start by making a slip knot using your preferred method, and then your starting chain can be any number of stitches. I'm just going to keep going until I think it's big enough to demonstrate in this tutorial. So now I've finished my starting chain, we're going to work a foundation row. This is the same foundation row that I showed in my Tunisian crochet for absolute beginners video that I put up a couple of weeks ago. If you are happy with your foundation row, skip ahead to this timestamp here to learn the knit stitch. However, I am going to go through the foundation row again just to remind you. So in my original Tunisian crochet tutorial, we worked into the back loop of the chain. I find for the knitted stitch, I prefer going in the back bump of the chain because it gives us a much neater edge to the bottom of our fake knitting. So I'm going to turn my chain over and identify the back bumps of the chain. So at the back you can see we've got these bumps, and that's what we're going to be crocheting into. I'm going to ignore this first bump here of this first chain. I'm going to put my hook underneath the next bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. I'm going to repeat that all the way along my chain. So put my hook in the back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop, hook in the back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop. I'm going to repeat that all the way along to the end of my chain, so I'll meet you there. So that's the forward pass on our foundation row done, so let's do the return pass. This is the same as with Tunisian simple stitch. So yarn over, pull through one loop, and then yarn over and pull through two loops, and repeat across the row. Yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, all the way along to the end, and I'll meet you there. So that's the return pass of the foundation row finished. So before we do the first row of our Tunisian knit stitch, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the construction of Tunisian crochet stitches. Now, we have a lot of loops here, quite a lot more than we do with a craft like knitting. So we've got this here, and I talked about that in the Tunisian simple stitch. That is called the vertical bar. It's actually called the front vertical bar, but I didn't want to overcomplicate things. We actually have a back bar as well. If we have a look down here, you can kind of see there's another vertical yarn here, and that's, if I turn this over, that is that strand of yarn there. Some of these other loops have names as well, but they're not relevant to this. We just need to be able to identify the front bar here and the back bar, because when we do our knit stitch we're going to go between them. So with Tunisian simple stitch, when we put our hook into our crochet on the forward pass, we picked up the vertical bar like this. For knit stitch we're going to go between the vertical bar and the front vertical bar, sorry, and the back bar there. Can you see there? I'm going to be putting my hook through to the back, all the way through to the back. So I'll show you what that looks like as we work the stitch. So if we have a look at this first bar, so there's our first vertical bar. So I'm going to put my hook through my crochet there. So it's got that vertical bar there, and it's gone through to the back, and there is the back bar. So I've gone between the bars. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. I'm going to repeat that across and putting my hook in there. So if I pull this, I can try and show you, it's a bit difficult to show this. If I pull that there, you see there's a front bar and a back bar, and I'm putting my hook into the space between it there. Yarn over and pull up a loop. I'm going to repeat that all the way along the row to the end, and I'll meet you there. So I'm almost at the end of my forward pass, and for the final stitch we're going to do exactly the same as we did with the Tunisian simple stitch. So we go under those two loops there. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So that's our forward pass done. Let's do our return pass. So that's exactly the same as we've done previously. Yarn over, pull through one, then yarn over and pull through two, all the way along. And then I'll meet you over here and explain what we do moving forwards. So for all future rows we're going to repeat that same row as the last row that we did. So I'm going to put my hook into my crochet between the front and back vertical bars through to the back of the crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, repeat across, and then the return pass is the same. Feel free to use your YouTube settings to rewind this tutorial, and you can also slow it down if you need to. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to work a few rows of knit stitch, and then I'll show you how we cast off this stitch, because it is slightly different to the Tunisian simple stitch we learned a couple of weeks ago. So I've worked a few more rows on my little swatch here, and this is what it's looking like. As you can see, it does like to curl up a lot. This stitch does curl up a bit more than a Tunisian simple stitch because there's more tension on the front from how we've made those loops. So I do recommend blocking it. I'll link my blocking tutorial down in the description if you've never blocked crochet before. So to cast off, we're going to slip stitch in each stitch across, and we're going to go into that same space we were going into for the knit stitch. So I'm putting my hook back in that same space. I can get in there. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch. I'm going to repeat this across, working a slip stitch into each stitch across. And that will give us a nice neat top edge for our crochet. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. You can check out this playlist I've linked on your screen for some more beginner friendly Tunisian crochet tutorials.